I'm continuing my series of MASH retro reviews for season 2, episode 6, Kim. So this episode, a Korean boy ends up at the camp injured, and basically everyone in the camp falls in love with him, and Trappo decides, since they can't locate his family, that he'll and his wife back home will adopt him. The episode ends, I'm just going to jump to the end, is that doesn't happen because the local orphanage run by Sister Teresa, which I think this might be the first time they've actually mentioned her. And when the few, no, wait, no, she was in Turtle. That's right. Don't know if it's the same actor or not. But regardless, she locates Kim's mother and they are reunited. So really good ending, but it's still shown to be melancholy because the adoption did not occur. Now, this episode reminds me very much of another episode way later in the series after Frank has left and we have Charles there. Very similar premise, though. That episode dealt a lot more with a lot of the red tape that would have come up. They made a mention to that, but that was not the purpose of this episode. The purpose of this episode was to show the camp falling in love with this young, about 5-year-old Korean boy. Everyone, really, even Frank. Frank is a bit childish during all of this, because Margaret is watching Kim on their night. He's a bit not happy about it, but at the same time, when Kim accidentally wanders into the minefield, he recognizes that's not good and does show that he does have some care. Again, not enough in my opinion, but that's Frank. Frank is not good about caring about others. That's just the fact of his character and why he works as a good foe to Hawkeye and Trapper, who almost kill too much at times. And bringing in that other episode from later on, I forget which season, I'll talk about that later on, but with Charles kills as well. Another why he's such a different character than Frank, but Charles doesn't show his care. Well, so basically, what I'm getting at is when Frank shows that he's caring about something, that either means he's trying to get something about it, or he actually genuinely cares. You don't know which. So I think in this episode it's a genuine care, but when Charles shows that he cares, he really cares. But again, I'll talk more about that in that later episode. But this was just a sweet, wholesome episode. Really, maybe my only problem with it is how there was one line that does revolve around, and this mentality still be around, but that only women can take care of children and men can't take care of children. That's a very common stereotype and belief that many people do hold. So just to set the scene for that, Hawkeye is reading to Kim from a book, definitely not a child appropriate book, in post-op, and of course Margaret and Frank come in kind of to spoil the fun and all that. And when I forget which one of them asks, but no, that Hawkeye is disturbing the other patients. Hawkeye then asks, "You want me to stop?" And everyone else in post-op says no because they're as interested in, yeah. Meanwhile, and then there's a line that basically about who should basically kill for the boy, protect him, and Margaret basically says, I'm a woman," or something along those lines. I forget the exact wording. I know, I just watched the episode and I forgot the exact wording. But the point being, that scene is implying that only women can take care of a child and not men. But the episode also does show that that's not entirely the case, because every single character has some kind of moment with Kim. Major character. Radar has his moment. I mean, it involves Radar's teddy bear, but they're both basically passing back and forth while they're trying to sleep. You have Margaret reading to Kim the three bears, the Goldock and three bears, if I remember correctly. You have Trapper looking to adopt him. You have Henry basically playing with the child, but also talking to Sister Teresa on the phone and making it sound like the boy is still recovering. Hawkeye has his moments as well, reading to the child and post-op. And I'm sure a bunch of other characters too had either small moments or even moments that if this was an hour-long episode, we probably would have gotten to see. And so the episode does dismiss the idea that men can't take care of a child, not as strongly as I think it would have been neat, but the point really of this episode was a sweet, wholesome story of the camp falling in love with this young Korean boy. who was injured by the war. That's what the purpose of the story was, and you know what? It was sweet and wholesome. And you know what? It's good that Kim got reunited with his mother. That is, in all honesty, the best way to end this episode, because the episode was about the wholesomeness this boy brought to the camp. While that later episode with Charles was that wholesomeness was still there, but was about how the Army's bureaucracy is hurting their ability to kill. And so the ending had to be different in that episode, more bittersweet rather than wholesome. There's some bittersweetness in this episode as well, but still just a good, fun, wholesome episode. But those are just my thoughts on it. I would love to hear your thoughts on the episode, Kim, in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the force be with you, always.